You can tell a guy's style at trestles.
The best surfers can just really have their way with that wave.
Nestled in a lush state park somewhere between Los Angeles and San Diego, Lower Trestles has been an epicenter since it was first surfed in the 1950s. And by the dawn of this new millennium, Lowers easily sits as the focal point of modern-day surfing.
Lower Trestles is, one of the funnest waves around the world, that's for sure.
It'll bring out some guys' weaknesses and some guys' strengths.
Lowers is considered a world-class wave by Southern California standards, and although it's not Chopu or the Superbank, this perfect A-frame can surely hold its own when it comes to quality venues on the Dream Tour.
Yeah, Lowers is definitely a different wave on the tour.
Compared to the other waves on the CT, it's definitely the most rippable, but in the same sense, it's definitely probably the weakest wave we go to besides Brazil.
How Lowers compares to the other waves on tour is probably a heck of a lot more fun and without the consequence, of certainly waves like Pipeline and Chopu and some of the other areas that everybody's surfing.
It's a really high performance,
Definitely high performance.
Trestles is all about high performance. The guys can mix it up there with their turns, their maneuvers, airs, everything. It offers everything, which is really cool.
Of course, there is a science behind what makes this phenomenal A-frame tick.
Cobblestone bottom makes it real nice, and it makes it consistently good. You're guaranteed to go there and just be able to surf a wave longer than 2 seconds.
I think the best swell for Lowers is actually one that has a little bit more southwest in it. Lowers used to be a completely different type of wave. It was primarily just a right and no left. In the El Nino years of 82, 83, we had just some horrendous rainfall and runoff, freshwater runoff coming out of the San Mateo Creek, which, took all these cobblestone rocks and just kind of rearranged everything, and all of a sudden, like, wow, there's, kind of a really good left up there too, and with the right, which was even better. And we saw a ton of covers, in Surfing Magazine coming from that Lowers left.
I like going left.
I always look for the left.
I like the first section on the left.
Either wave is just perfect to me.
What do I prefer? Shit, I don't matter. The left's definitely, a tighter pocket. You're doing tighter arcs. You got to cram more turns in a shorter amount of time to get the score.
To get to the peak at Lowers, you have to walk through a massive valley, pass a Native American burial ground, and head alongside the San Mateo Creek. The experience gained just getting to Trestles is often well worth the walk.
We'd always park at Carl's Jr. That's kind of like the mainstay,
Part of surfing Lowers is walking down there and just kind of getting away from everything. Southern California is really busy. It's on Camp Pendleton, so pretty much when you look back, you just, you can see the freeway a little bit.
The mornings are my favorite because it's a little more peaceful and you kind of enjoy it a little more.
It's pretty quiet, and it's got nature around it and stuff. So that part's unreal, I mean, you kind of have to earn it a little bit there because they make you walk. You can't just pull straight up to the beach, jump out of your car, and be in the water in 30 seconds.
Because of its playful, forgiving walls, Lowers has often been described as a skate park, so it's no surprise that certain surfboards work better than others.
You go a little more conservative on the rocker here is the general consensus. The wave at Lowers is, it's a slopey face, it's kind of got it doesn't have a tight curve like this, it's got a nice slopey curve, and you want a board that kind of mimics that curve, so a longer drawn out board lets you glide across the flats and do long arcs. Over the years, every year, guys come and they want to get board from a local shaper that kind of knows the wave, I guess. And that happens wherever in the world. Guys go to the Goldie and they all load up on Australian rocker chips. then they come here and they get boards from guys like me and Timmy Patterson, and looking for an edge, looking for a local board. Probably the best surfer at that wave's the best surfer there is just about every wave. Probably, I think we all know who that is.
Kern, of course, because he's so stylish. Wardo knows that wave really good. You know, Parko's got a great style.
Taylor Knox, loves that wave. He does a great job out there.
Like a Taj, he's always going so fast, and even though Lowers is kind of weak, he still makes it look like it's a really fast, good wave. Guys like Mick, he's got that wrap that's really good for out there, and even Jordy. I think Jordy's really good. He's got that big body torque.
It is a classic California wave. We have a lot of great waves here, but we don't get to show them off very often.
And with hundreds of surfers pouring through the state park every day, Trestles will live on as Southern California's premier surfing destination.